Hey guys, welcome back to Adventure Camping. Tactical Nut here. And today we're here to talk about the Qezer down sleeping bag. So stay tuned. Okay guys, to start off with, I really just want to say two things that are important to me. One, I'm filming inside, and you normally don't see that. I'm just doing this because, well, I live in the South, and it's getting so ungodly hot right now. I didn't want to just be sweating like crazy filming this review. But also, I just got off work a little while ago. I took a new job where I'm working third shift, and so if you haven't been seeing a lot of videos lately, there's a good reason for that. After I got back from vacation, it took a while to be able to put the whole vacation video together, which I posted on Facebook. I'll leave a link in the description below. Hopefully you can check that out. I had to do that because there was so much music everywhere we went. YouTube would just copyright strike it and would have made a terrible video to not have the music included. So what I did recently, also the reason why there's a delay in the videos, is I got a new job. I'm working third shift, and I did this on purpose, managing at a company on third shift. This way I could still keep the content going, because my plan is to, when I get home from work, I can film video, film content, my days off, I can go hiking, camping, backpacking, whatever. Because if I went back to working full-time again during the day, my life would be taking YouTube back to a hobby again and hopefully doing one video a week. And so I promised y'all, and I told y'all a while back, that I was doing YouTube full-time, and I'm going to stick to it. I literally took a third shift job just to do that. I just didn't know in the very beginning that there's a lot of training you have to do that is all during the day. So you're training during the day and then working all night. And so yeah, I'm just gonna say, just write my sleep schedule, kind of life schedule, all that kind of stuff. But that's not important. But I wanted you to know why you hadn't been getting content from me for a little while. We're gonna talk about this bag right here, this down sleeping bag by Qezer. As you can see, it comes in a stuff sack, which is pretty nice. It does have, like, literally just like your normal stuff sacks. You're just going to pull up, it loosens the straps. Also has a clip right here, and here's what I really like about this. This is pretty cool to me and fairly innovative. I'll start going over the specs in just a minute. I was just kind of fascinated by this aspect, but you pull it off, but here's the cool thing. It stays attached to the bag. You're never going to lose the bag. It's always going to be attached to the sleeping bag, which is really, really cool, or to the stuff sack. So here's your stuff sack. You're just going to loosen the drawstring, pull out the bag. So you have literally a stuff sack with a compression sack attached to it. And so pretty innovative, I think. I have never had a sleeping bag that has this kind of setup, and so I really enjoy it. I think it's pretty cool. And then we'll just roll this out. So let me just go over the specs real quick before we start talking about it. I do have them right here. I have had this for a little while, so I did not memorize them. You have, only weighs 1.81 pounds, which is a huge advantage to having down over synthetics. Sometimes the weight isn't a huge difference, but every ounce that you can save if you're backpacking and camping and stuff like that is always really important. Let's see, 380 grams or 600 fill power with duck down. The temperature rating is 40 to 60 degrees. And so we're going to get to that in just a second, like why I wanted this bag and why you may want one as well. Double zipper, windproof strip design, mummy sleeping bag head. The dimensions 30.7 by 84.6. So large enough for, you know, most people, if you're really tall, you may have to look at another option. You can combine this with another sleeping bag to make it a 2-person sleeping bag, so that's kind of cool. So if you're out with your wife or boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, whatever, you got options here. Made from a 400T 20D high density nylon fabric. It's anti-moisture, anti-tear, anti-drilling, high quality zipper, and even distribution of the down. So specs, really good. Temperature rating, like I said, 40 to 60 degrees. So why would you want a 40 to 60 degree sleeping bag? Well, I'll tell you what, if you live in the South like I do, or you like to camp in spring and fall, or like late spring, early fall, like this is one of these great options for a sleeping bag, because the bags that I have, if I was to go camping in late spring, like it's way too warm for that temperature. Like I have to find another option. Early to late fall here in the South, sleeping bags I take them, I just leave them unzipped because like they're just way too warm and it's just uncomfortable. Like you literally have to just try to adjust your temperature just because the sleeping bags I have are just too warm for those climates. So getting one that fits that niche is perfect, just because now I can take a very lightweight sleeping bag to fit the temperature ratings that I need. Or like if I wanted to, with the bags that I do have, if I wanted to reduce or drop their rating or increase their rating, how do you say that? Okay, if I want to make it warmer, I could always put this inside of the other bag, you know, so that way you can actually build on that. But I'll lay it out in just a second. But like the reason why I'm saying that, to me, this was important to have is just because it's kind of that in-between stage. And when I took it out, I went with a buddy down to deer camp in Georgia, and well, we call it deer camp because they use it for nothing but hunting. They got like almost 1,000 acres, and yes, we did stay inside because it is summer, but I literally slept underneath an air conditioner. And the best way I can describe it, you ever been in a hotel where the air conditioner's going full blast, and if you're not under the covers, the comforter, all that, like you're freezing your butt off? Well, that's exactly what it was like sleeping there. Is because I got in a sleeping bag and I got to the point where I was getting too warm, and I'm like, all right, I'll just get out of the sleeping bag. And within like less than a minute, I was freezing because I'm literally right beside the air conditioner, within a foot. And so I'd get back in the sleeping bag, and next thing you know, like I'm toasty warm again. Now, that being said, I have no idea what the temperature was. All I can tell you is that I was sleeping in front of an air conditioner. If I was not in a sleeping bag, I was freezing cold. Get in the sleeping bag, toasty warm. So that's the information I can give you right now, but what I can tell you is what more than likely what that would translate into is when you're outside and you're camping. Sorry, hold on just one second. All right, so sorry about that. I literally had to cut because I just went through like a 12-string sneezing fit. So here's what the sleeping bag looks like once it's laid out. Like I said, it's a 40 to 60 degree sleeping bag, so not really thick, but that's the whole purpose, because to accomplish that, temperature rating, you're not going to have a really thick sleeping bag. Now, what you want to do with any sleeping bag, whether it's synthetic or down, is once you get it out of your bag, you're going to want to let it sit because it will loft up, and that's where you're getting your insulation value, is then the loft of it. And so this is one thing that you need to understand about your sleeping bags. I will move you up here. So this is the hooded area. It is kind of a combination of a rectangular bag with a mummy style hood. That's the best way to describe it. So literally when I slept in it, I literally had my head right here. The zippers on it, you do have a Velcro, as you can see here, right here, to seal off that, but your zipper work incredibly well. If I had any critiques whatsoever, and it is a very minor critique. Oh, as you can see here, you also have this extra flap that runs down the length of the zipper, oops, to also help with blocking wind. So that's a nice little bonus. It's definitely not a deal breaker, and it's something I only seldomly use in my sleeping bags. If it had an interior pocket for a cell phone or something like that would be nice. As you can see here, it doesn't have one of those. Definitely not a deal breaker, because I can just put my phone or any kind of electronic that I wanted to keep warm with me. But the reason why I would not complain about this sleeping bag not having one is because of the temperature rating. Because if you've ever used any kind of camera gear or battery operated anything, when it gets really cold, it drains your batteries really quick. Between 40 to 60 degrees, it's not really much of a concern, just because it's not that cold to really drain your batteries. And so it would be a nice little addition, but I 100% do not think it's necessary. You do have drawstrings here for your hood on. This way you can cinch it around your head, right? And this way, you know, if you are cold, I always sleep with a wool toboggan on, so that way I don't have to worry about my head getting cold. But there's a lot of times it's still, I mean, I have been camping when it was really cold, and having the ability to draw the sleeping bag around your head is really important. At 40 to 60 degrees, not that important, but it's still nice to have, because sometimes it may get colder than you expected, and having that little added extra feature, because, you know, can be really, really helpful, just because if you didn't expect it and you left it really loose and all of a sudden now you're getting cold, well, now you have an option to retain that heat. But I'll tell you what, guys, like, I was really impressed with this. I am definitely going to get a lot of use out of this, because, of course, living in the South, it just really, like last year we didn't really have winter. I had a bunch of cold weather gear that I wanted to test and barely got to do anything with it, just because it really didn't get cold. Hopefully this year will be different, and I can show you more uses, because I will keep doing videos with this, just so I can show you the benefits of having a higher temperature rated sleeping bag. You know, just because not everybody lives in a really cold environment, and sometimes you want to go camping, you need a sleeping bag, but you don't need a 35 or 20 degree bag. You just need something to cover you, keep you warm, out of the elements at not so low temperatures, right? The price is really good on this. I can't remember it right offhand. I just remember I did think it was great for what you're getting. I'm going to leave links to this in the description below. It will be an affiliate link, and so full disclosure, they did send this to me to test and review, and I'm going to tell you, like, if you see a review on my channel, I'm only going to bring it to you if I like it. There's very few videos you will see from me where you see a negative review, because for me, if I don't like a product, I don't want to waste my time, your time, telling you not to get it. I really just want to show you the products that I like and what I use and how it can help you. Like that or not, like that's just how I roll. Like, I just don't want to waste my time and waste your time watching a video going, oh, don't buy this. The only thing, the ones I really have that are negative are Olights. I just had such a bad experience with them that I just had to say something after getting multiple products from that company that just didn't work. something like that happens, yeah, I'll bring it to your attention. But there's sometimes where something might not work as advertised. I just move on and like I show you the stuff that works. Other than that, guys, yeah, I mean, this is a really good intermediate temperature. I think it will hold true to the temps that it says that it will. I mean, because getting down to 40, if you're outside, depending on how you're dressed, 40 starts to get pretty cold when you're out there for a while. And so having a 40-degree bag is really nice when you don't need to carry like a 20-degree bag for 40-degree weather, and now you're just sweating and you're just like unzipping and you're hanging a leg out of your sleeping bag or like trying to do something just to cool off. This is a good option for those temperatures where you're in between seasons. That's how I look at it. That's how I'm reviewing it, just because I think that's its intended purpose. And I think that you could get a lot of use out of it, just like I will, if you, especially if you live in areas like I do, where there are years where it just doesn't get real cold, but you still need a sleeping bag to go out and to just protect yourself from the weather and to make sure that you're warm and comfortable and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and I mean, like I said, it's so lightweight, 1.8 pounds. It's down. Storage. Okay, so it comes in the stuff sack with the compression sack. Do not store it that way at all, right? Any sleeping bag that you have, do not store it in the sack, the compression sack that it comes in. What I do is I put them in like a king size pillowcase, and then I'll lay them flat. I've seen a lot of people that will have sleeping bags hanging in the background. You go into outdoor stores, they're hanging up. If I'm in a store, I don't care that they're hanging up, because they're limited on space. People need to come in, they need to filter through, see what the sleeping bags look like. That's one thing. If you're hanging your down sleeping bag or even synthetic filled sleeping bag up, what happens to all that fill power is it drifts downward, right? And so over time, the longer it sits that way, the less likely it is to fluff up when you're needing it to provide that insulation value. So what I do is I just put mine in a king size sleeping bag, I lay them flat so it stays loose, and that way you'll get the longest amount of use out of your sleeping bag. So that's what I would recommend. And I got this tip from a highly reputable company. That was their advice, and that's what I've done ever since. I'm not going to mention them because I'm reviewing a different company's bag, but I'm just going to tell you, a very highly rated company, this is how they would tell you to store their sleeping bag. I found this out years ago, and that's how I've done mine ever since, and I've never had a problem with any of my bags ever since. All right, guys, hopefully this will help you in your purchasing decisions of finding a good intermediate temperature sleeping bag that is very lightweight. Check out Qezer. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I really do. But I'm really happy with it. I think you will be too. And you know, if you feel like you want to buy one for yourself or someone else, really helps the channel. I literally took a third shift job just so I could keep doing YouTube full time. Now that I'm getting adjusted to the new sleep schedule, the training schedule, all that kind of stuff, I'm going to keep cranking out the videos multiple times a week because I really want to keep this building, but I also need money. Who knew? All right, guys. Hopefully, once again, check out this sleeping bag. The links will be in the Amazon description below. I believe it was like less than $80. Might have been like $70. I think that's an awesome price for a good down sleeping bag. All right, guys. Meantime, be prepared. Have fun.